嗨，各位同学好，欢迎来到 Phonics 自然音标 Phonics 自然音标的课程。今天老师要为你介绍的是 Vocabulary of the Day Vocabulary of the Day。而今天一样，老师会介绍两个单字，而这两个单字呢，跟我们的硬币跟我们的这个我们常使用的这个货币中的这个硬币有一些关联性。但同学们可以也待会可以到这个文章上来做一些进阶的阅读因为这些老师觉得它还蛮有趣的这文章。Okay, we'll go for 2 vocabulary words for today. And now let's go for the first one. Let's listen carefully. The first vocabulary of the day. Engraver. 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 It is also possible engraver. 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 Okay, let's go for the second vocabulary of the word. The second vocabulary words of the day. Obverse. 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 Okay, now if you can spell those two words, please spell them out. And now I will repeat the pronunciation again, so you can try and listen carefully this time. The first word of the day, engraver. 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 It is also possibly pronounced as engraver. 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 Okay, let's go for the second vocabulary of the day. Obverse. 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 Okay, if you know how to spell those two words, please write them down. Okay, now I will give you more detailed definition and information about those two vocabulary words, and then we're using spelling bee skill. And you can try, listen, and try to understand the definition of those two vocabulary words. Okay, let's go for the first vocabulary of the day. Engraver. 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 They also pronounced as engraver. 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 Definition of engraver in English. Noun. Cut or carve a text or design on the surface of a hard object. My name was engraved on the ring. More example sentences. Then I began to study the emblem. An amazing, intricate design was delicately engraved on its surface. The origins of engraver. Late 15th century, formerly also as engrave, from an, in, on, and grave, influenced by absolutely French engraver. Okay, now let's repeat the definition and try listen carefully this time. Engraver. 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 It's also pronounced as engraver. 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 Definition of engraver in English. Noun. Cut or carve a text or design on the surface of a hard object. My name was engraved on the ring. More example sentences. Then I began to study the emblem. An amazingly intricate design was delicately engrave on its surface. The origins of engraver. They, 15th century, formerly also as engrave from an, in, on, engrave, influenced by obsolete French engraver. Okay, let's go for the second vocabulary of the day. Obverse. 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 Definition of obverse in English. None. The sign of a coin or metal bearing the head or principal design. Example sentences. It was no wonder that this minting machine was chosen as part of the design for the obverse of the metal. The origins of obverse. Mid-17th century in the sense turned toward the observer. From Latin obversus, past participle of avertir, turn toward, see, avert. Okay, now I will repeat the definition one more time, so listen carefully. Obverse. 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 Definition of obverse in English. None. The sign of a coin or metal bearing the head or principal design. Example sentences. It was no wonder that this minting machine was chosen as part of the design for the obverse of the metal. The origins of obverse. Mid-17th century in the sense turned toward the observer. From Latin obversus, past participle of avertir, turn toward, see, avert. 好的，各位同学们，不知道刚听我们的这个用 spell and be 这个听力练习，好，大家可以了解这两个单词多少。好，第一个单词我们来先看 engrave， 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 当然它可以念 engrave， 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 或者我们刚刚原来的 engrave， 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 好，那当然是动词，如果名词就加 er， engraver， engraver， engraver. Definition of engrave in English. Verb. Cut or carve a text or design on the surface of a hard object. My name was engraved on the ring. More example sentences. Then I began to study the emblem. An amazingly intricate design was delicately engraved on its surface. Origin. Date 15th century, formerly also as engrave. From an, in, on, grave, influenced by obsolete French engraver. Obverse. Definition of obverse in English. None. The sign of a coin or metal bearing the head or principal design. Example sentences. It was no wonder that this minting machine was chosen as part of the design for the obverse of the metal. Origins of obverse. Mid-17th century in the sense turned toward the observer. From Latin obversus, past participle of avertir, turned toward, see, avert. 好了，因为刚刚有一个是 拉丁的转过来的文哈，老师念起来有点卡卡的哈。好，我们来看 engrave， 好，当然我们念 engraver，E-N-G-R-A-V-E-R， 好，那当然我们知道，它没有加这个 er 的时候，它是念什么呢？它是念 engrave， 好，所以 G-R-A-V-E， 好，那当然它多了一个 er 的时候，它把这个er 分到最后一个字了哈，把它当成这个prefix 我们讲的什么我们讲的suffix 把它我们讲的句尾的这个了哈 ，er 哈代表做什么了哈，所以先看第一个哈，我们来看这个单字的它的单字哈，重音在第二音节如果你念 engrave 的时候，它其实这边可以标个次重音所以它是一个什么 nucleus 开头 ，follow by 什么 coda nucleus E follow by coda N， 所以 En 念什么 N。好，那当然这个次重音是最好标在这里哈，所以让人家知道说，为什么这样念短母音。而这个地方第二个音节来看，我们来看它的它的第二个音节这个地方，它是什么？它是有 onset， 它的 onset 是 GR 也就是我们讲的首音不同的它的第一个音节它是没有首音，它直接只有用合音母合音加尾音它缺少了首音在第二个音节时，我们看到它有首音，它有什么合音，还有什么我们讲的 coda， 那它的本来的 coda 是 VE 那只是 E 被移过来了因为它变成 graver 了，所以我们看 engrave 的时候是这样 E-G-R-A-V-E， engrave 是什么 vowel consonant E， 所以 E 把 A 拉成长母音 engrave， 那 engraver 的时候呢 G-R-A-V E-R 变到后面，所以这时候一样是从我们把它套过来我们知道 E 是位移的一个位置，所以我们就一样是套 vowel consonant interpunct就是原来的 E 所以这很好玩 vowel consonant interpunct， 就是括弧原来的 E听懂老师的意思 vowel consonant interpunct 就原来的 E， 所以一样engraver， 所以这时候这个拉成长母音被它拉成长母音第一个是什么短母音 V 加 C 也是短母音 engrave， 然后这时候最后两个 er 尾音我们就念什么所以或者我们这样标也可以所以两个落母音结尾engraver 第二个的 obverse obverse 一样 O-B-V-E-R-S-E， 两个音节两个重音所以这是非常少见两个音节它就有两个重音secondary stress还有什么 main stress所以这蛮好玩，两个音节两个重音，所以第一个音节一样是怎样 nucleus 开头nucleus O coda 什么 coda B， 所以念成短母音那当然第二个音节注意 VER 长母音各取两个同时朝上，我们念verse 最后一不发音，这种我们就称叫做 ER2 ER2 念成长母音ER2 的长母音，也就是 A-E-I-O-U 如果加上 R 而变成 long vowels of A-E-I-O-U A-E-I-O-U and R combination A-R-E-R-I-R-O-R-U-R as long vowels， 那我们就念好，或者3打2个点，也有人这样写哈。好，当然这是英式音标哈。啊，英式音标的话也可能这样打哈。啊，不过它的意思就是这样，就是3打一个勾，或者我们讲打一个这个哈，这代表一个 long vowel， 所以 OB 引对旁 VERSE 双重音。好，再来一样 V 加 C vowel and consonant up ER verse silent E 最后一个不发音哈。好，所以我们念什么 Obverse Engraver Obverse。好的，那我们同学们如果对这篇文章有兴趣的话，请到这个 wikipedia.org wikipedia.org 去找 The City SEATED Liberty 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 Dollar， 好，就可以找到这篇文章了。好，老师先念一下。The City Liberty Dollar was a dollar coin designed by Mint Chief Engraver Christian Obverse and struck by the United States Mint from 1840 to 1873. The coin's reverse features a heraldic eagle first seen on the coins in 1807. Based on a design by late Mint Chief Engraver John Ratch. The coin's obverse is based on the Obverse dollar in gold, which trust was added to the dollar in 1866, following its introduction to other US coins earlier in the decade. 好的，第二遍我们慢慢念，请跟老师一起念。The City Liberty Dollar was a dollar coin designed by Mint Chief Engraver Christian Obverse and struck by the United States Mint from 1840 to 1873. The coin's reverse features a heraldic eagle first seen on coins in 1807, based on a decade by late Mint Chief Engraver John Ratch. The coin's obverse is based on the Obverse dollar. In God we trust was added to the dollar in 1866, following its introduction to other U.S. coins earlier in the decade. 好的，以上就是今天 vocabulary of the day， 谢谢各位同学观赏。当然，同学们如果乐意跟老师做个线上朋友的话，可以用 Google Plus 机加 DAVID David TTING88 David Ting88 Google Plus David TTING88 或者我们写 email David TTING88@gmail.com 就可以跟老师做一个线上的朋友可以订阅老师的 YouTube channel 也可以发问。以上就是今天的 vocabulary of the day， 谢谢各位同学观赏。